And Kingdom of the Amazons. Holy Loki. Wait up, you can't expect me to run as fast quick as you fellas. Mama Revere, I know you just recovered, but piggyback me. Strongly refuse, I'll drag you with us if you collapse. That ship headed towards the port and it didn't look like Tion and Tanya encountered their friends. Callie. What are you doing here? We haven't seen each other in years and that's the first thing you say to me? A little sightseeing is all. It's the undeniable truth. Wanting a change in routine is all. A little stimulation, you know. Good thing no one seems to have gotten hope, but this is not looking any good. I've never seen Tion looking like that before. Do they know each other? A goddess and a bunch of Amazons? Are they some kind of familiar? They are strong. Level 5s maybe? No, level 6. How can it be possible for us familiar outside the city? And that one, she hasn't taken her eyes off Tion this entire time. It's been a long time. You have grown. What are you looking at? As for you, you haven't changed. Where do you think you're looking at? I've heard of you guys before, the Loki family, yes? Where's your goddess? I thought something was going on. No biggie, as you can see, these two kiddos are mine now. You need something, shrimp, number 2. So it's our first time to meet. And I must say, I'm surprised to see how small they are. Even Tanya's and mine are bigger than yours. Picking the fade, are we? On our first date, come at me and vertically challenge piece of trash. Please calm down. You're making the scene. Very funny anyway. We are going to be here for a while. If you folks are doing the same, perhaps we will meet again. Don't make me laugh. I'm sensing some animosity. Do you really hate me and the rest of your tribe so much? I never wanted to see you again, ever. I couldn't help but miss you, my beloved daughters. Do Tion and Tanya know that goddess? Guess there's no point hiding it. That's the old familiar. The very first one too, from before they joined us. Consists of goddesses of Telskyoa and her followers. That's a peninsula country far to Aurora southeast, right? A solitary island surrounded on all sides by the sea and cliffs, known for belonging to no one but Amazons. Just like with Ares and Rakia, nation state familiar or whatever you want to call it. That brat and I'll never get along. The only one who grinds my gear more than that pipsqueak is that potato snack midget tramp. And what's with that creepy mask, eh? Pisses me off. Back to the topic. Telskyoa is a country of Amazons. It would seem that only men allowed on the island are slaves or those used for breeding. From the little we learn about it in school, it seems to be a very savage country, or at least that's the impression I've always had. You'd be correct, but what I hear every day, battle cries and cheering crowds fill the air. Everyone devotes themselves to relentless combat, and it is a nation of blood and war, the holy land of the Amazons. It's one of the few world powers besides Ohio, and they possess an incredible capacity for war. And not only that, they are completely isolated from other countries. Information about what's going on in the borders is extremely limited. There are rumors that the two captains, the sister Argana and Botch, have both reached level 6. Revere, how did they get that strong without the dungeon? How were they able to level up? Through the rites they perform every day, ruthless fates to the death, not only against monsters but even against their fellow warriors. Some explore about it in the Chronicle or whatnot, about how he snuck into Telskio and barely made it out with his life. The Curious Tales of Rastilio for that's the one. There's a copy in the Manos archives. With too much bloodshed to be called rituals, occur day and night. I too shall emulate the hymns and Amazon of the land as a true warrior. I can still remember that line. Born and raised in Telskio, this is what they said when they joined our familia. We have killed so many of our brethren, and you still want us to join you? Did they really? Let's go back inside. Why did they come here? I know how you feel, but thinking about it's not gonna do us any good. Maybe they really did just come for sightseeing. Callie, none of them would have any reason to go somewhere if there wasn't fate involved. Do you even remember what they made us do? Do you? If you do, then wipe that stupid grin off your face. What are we supposed to do then? Tell me what it is we can do. Just pull our heads down and charge right in? Are you even listening to yourself? Stop putting words in mine. I couldn't stand you acting all lolly-da. Nothing's wrong. We have to stop them. Are you alright? I'm fine. It's not like we were fading. It's true. Then well, I didn't really know if I should be talking for both of us if Tion isn't here. I can say that we never wanted to see them again, ever. Isn't this a sight you chasing me? Usually it's the other way around. Because you and Tanya were always the one who helped me whenever I caused trouble. I want to be alone. I've become something I didn't want to become. If there's anything at all I can do. Things you don't want to tell us. So don't you think that's a little unfair, saying nothing about yourself but expecting everyone else to bear everything to you? I'm sorry. What's wrong with me? Why did they have to be here? Grayish dream. The forsaken island of Telsk-Yoa. Ever since we could open our eyes, we have been part of that country. A nation of female warriors, Amazons, whose ceaseless rituals of bloodshed had been continuing since the goddess had come into power. Amazons of Tusculum knew how to kill a goblin before they could speak. I can only remember myself gripping a sword and not my mouth, those hands. I wouldn't know my parents if I saw them. I wouldn't be able to pick out their voices, but I recognized my other half the moment I saw her. They told me you're the big sister and I'm the little sister. No road sisters had been nothing more than a road to us young trins, but it would grow to become a powerful bond. To be respected in Tusculum, one had to be a true warrior. Strength was everything in this holy land. Of the Amazons, those with strength were lauded, given status and prestige. Bloodshed was a means of attaining true warriorhood, a time-honored national custom. Tusculum was a embodiment of Amazonian instincts. The first time I heard one of my sister's dying cries, it had sounded so weak, though the same blood spilled from no veins as the monsters she had slain. It seemed somehow even more vivid. Even long after the battle was over, the cheers of the woman in the audience would go on, and Goddess Kali looked at me smiling. Good to see you back alive, Tion. And yet, even in the darkest of times, light finds a way. It had come in the form of another Amazon who was like a sister. She was always there to greet us with a smile when we returned. Seldias, I'm hungry. I have a loaf of bread. I saved some for you. You do it for me, please. She was only 2 or 3 years older than us, but Tion and I loved her. Perhaps we even thought of her like a mother. The rites had a law that prohibited combat between Amazons of the same room. It was a relief that the home we had created would never change. That's what I have believed. It's the same dream again. No, perhaps it's not. It's my memory. I've always been like this, wanting to be by my side whenever something happened. It's like the time when it had been just the two of us. Teaching. We need to gather as much information as we can. Stay in groups. Remember, we must also watch out for Kali Familia. They're huge. Excuse me. A giant man-eating flower, no idea. Root stuff's always coming out of the lake and ocean. If we are counting hits to the hull, these ships are taking constant beatings from monsters. Haven't had many casualties around here lately. Whenever beasties crop up, we just leave them to Nord Familia. It would seem no one knows anything about the violas. Yesterday's sand must have been the first. It would seem that way. If those giant things really were appearing frequently, they would be causing quite a lot of damage. The drainage channel seems in order. I guess it was meaningless for us to come all the way here. But the others discovered the viola in the sewers. We did think that the outbreak could take place in the Brackish Lake. The mithril gates seemed firmly in place. I'd heard they were going to fix it ever since these monsters did a number on it, but I didn't know it was finished already. There's no way those flowers could have reached the lake from here unless it made the trek quite some time ago. Nasty looking flower creatures, huh? Come to think of it, we were pretty shocked by those things yesterday. You haven't heard about any, suspicious goings on recently? When it comes to matters of the fishing variety, I have no delusions of being the next Poseidon. I'm always up to my ears in fish, no room for talk of these suspicious going ons of yours. Things have been peaceful here in Malene for many years now. Until what happened yesterday? Ask anyone and they'll tell you the same. You still on bad terms with the guild? Even though we are adventurers, they still constantly try to bring us over. And every time we refuse, they tax the hell out of our fish. And the preferential treatment they get, despite the different affiliations. Things are like that here in the lower world. Have you already gone to the guild branch office? Thanks for waiting, 9 Hell. I'm Rubot Ryan. Two fucking false names. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry for suddenly showing up like this, but I'm looking for information about giant man-eating flowers. I can't say I know them. You're quite sure? You think I'd lie? We haven't heard anything about this kind of new species, not even from the main headquarters in the warrior. Does this not call for an investigation, preventative measures on your part? We can just leave it to Node Familiar. Now, that lot would likely tell us to mind our own business. That was the waterfront is the jurisdiction. It's the same every time. What's more important right now is the gaggle of Amazons that made port. We would like you to do something about them. While they haven't caused too much trouble yet, we have been getting complaints from our citizens. Terribly hard to approach it seems. Words just don't get through to them, and apparently they have even been running off with merchandise without paying. It's a little more complicated than that. In a city greater than the Amazons, the port entry permit. After Poseidon familiar step and Auroria's prosperity helped it develop it, flourish into the gateway to the dungeon city. But after all this generations, the head of Melene's still never given it up the autonomous government. Any city would resist being commandeered if given the chance. Patronage, it's also an entry point for people and communities all over the world. You can't wield strong authority even to a warrior, right? Compromise was reached and it was decided that the government would be split into two. All matters related to a warrior, trade included, are to be handled by the branch office, and everything else is taken care of by the city. Raised any objections to Cali Family being granted the permit, so I suppose we are partly responsible. But it was the city that fought tooth and nail to get them in here, thanks mostly to that bastard Modoc. Anyway, it feels like we have got some wild animals prowling around the city. So please, we promise we have no ill intentions. I have nothing to say to you, guild dogs. God's honest truth, we are not here on guild business. We are here about the giant flower creatures that appeared in the lake yesterday. If you have any relevant information you could give us. I'll admit I had higher expectations for the interaction. Consider that he's the governor and all, but apparently that was asking too much. Let's just go back. We should join Laferia and the others and start talking to people. The What are you two doing? Got hungry while asking these folks for info. They said that we were free to have a bite. You should have more awareness that you're part of local familia. Never mind. A leader of the group can't give up. When you give up, that's when the game is over. How's Tion doing? But I think she'll be fine. We made sure to keep away from Callie and the crew this morning to make sure she didn't get into any trouble. One more round. I don't know what's going on, but your eyes tell me that something's been bugging you. She has good appetite as usual. Usually it's her keeping tabs on me though. I'm fine, you know me, thinking's not my strong suit. You girls can't eat, even for adventurers. I guess first class adventurers really are in a class of their own. That skinny little thing over there, huh? The sword princess, can she eat like you two? She never eats as much as us, really, like sword potato snacks though. The captain of Noj familiar. Do you and the others in your family fish a lot? About all we are good at, really. We fish the lake, of course, but even all the way out in the sea, too. Probably spent more of my life in the waves than here on the land. Are there any fishermen in the port who don't belong to Node Familia? Skip Node's a good guy, and his blessing comes in real handy. Gives you more strength than the average trawler. If your goal is to just make a living fishing, you'll do it a lot faster at the feet of the skip. And even if it's sailing on the high seas, you'll have a much easier time with the blessing given how many monsters are looking out. And besides, well, we all love Skip Noj. He's taken care of us since we were knee-high to a minnow. He's been protecting the city for centuries, all the way back to the time of our father's father. May they rest in peace. Sometimes, every once in a while, we'll get a request from the folks here in among the older fish. We would take care of pirates too. I've reached level 2 after spending many years on the open oceans. And all your experience on the lake and ocean, do you ever see a large flower-type monster? Didn't get to see it myself as I just pulled into port this morning. But you sure that thing wasn't just an aqua serpent? To be honest, I do have an idea. I've often seen it when I'm fishing in the lake and ocean. It will long thin like a snake, almost swimming in the water below the ship. But this thing you're talking about never attacked us, not even once. That's just impossible. Those violas were quite violent. Perhaps there's still something that we're not aware of. What's that little bag hanging around your waist? You've got good eyes. Here's magic dust. Sprinkle a little of this beauty on the water and monsters won't come up. Let me see that. Careful now. That stinks. It smells horrible. It's strong enough for us to sense the smell. Why didn't you say something? What's in this stuff? Is it raw? Seems like a bunch of different things all ground up into powder. A dust that repels monsters. We don't have anything like this in the warrior. You sure this doesn't actually attract monsters, like a trap item that makes monsters attack the boat? we hold this thing was invented a warrior. You know, by that's that Hoisis Pomisus, or whatever her name is. That's it. She's the one who invented it. I don't understand if such an truly items truly existed. Why did no one in the warrior knew about this? From whom exactly did you receive this powder from? Had a Modoc family. He bought it up in the city and gave it out to us free of charge. Not only to us fishermen, but to all the boats that pass through Milan. It's been forever now. That old man does a lot for us. Can't say it's perfect as we do still get some raider fish attacks and such, but it's only helped us avoid a lot of excess damage. That could be why Cali family ship got attacked yesterday. What's going on between you guys and those Amazons? Just everyone else in the city are greatly pretty terrified of them. You can tell how strong they are just by looking, and then they march right through the middle of the streets like they own the place. Are causing a huge ruckus in the main road. One of them's got a hold of Mark. Tion, crap, no. Is something wrong? Tion's gone. We are going on ahead. Is there anything I can do for you? Please forgive him. You were just so beautiful that he couldn't stop staring and didn't watch where he was going. Bumping into warriors, a challenge to fate to the death. Let him go. Tion said let him go. Where were you? We searched for you, you and Tanya. You can speak Kion now, so Faden's not the only thing that thin in that monkey brain of yours. Tied to me, she teaches us many things. The pleasure of growing stronger and how to understand those who are different from us. Well, clearly you don't understand because you're not in your country anymore, so that custom doesn't apply here. We wanted to know what are our prey screaming. Are they angry? Are they begging for their lives? Have you heard Tion how strong the outside world has gotten? They have turned into snakes just like us. No one's the same as you evil witch. Shall we see just how strong you have become? Tion. We should stop them. Move back. Surely Ace is stronger than them. You have really changed. You're a little stronger than before. Well, let's do the boss battle real quick. Just get it done in 2 moves. Oh, 3 moves. Thou art the... Excuse me. Damn it. Did they fail to escape? Tion, did you really just protect that goal? You really have changed. You have gotten stronger and you have gotten weaker. You are no longer a warrior. The old you would never have protected garbage like that. You should have continued your battles. You are saying that to me? Who would ever want to stay in that place? And yet by killing her you grew stronger, did you not? You're dead. That's far enough. If things get any more heated around here, people are gonna get hurt. You two, the outside world was a little too much for my goals. Shall we share the blame? After all, your Sid Princess and her friends did a number on my goals. You just scat, will you? And I don't want to see you or any of your goals again. Are you two alright? Seems this is more serious than I thought. It's because of me and the country. It was the landscape of her memories. The ground of packed oath was already stained a brilliant red from the day's fresh blood. So Rega was a phrase unique to the Amazons of Telskiora. It meant thou art the true warrior. I couldn't make out anything over the thunderous ovation. Hands shaking, I pulled the mask off the prone body from the Amazon I had killed. Cell does. We have misunderstood the rule. We had not yet had to fight any of the goals from our same room. It was simply that the right moment hadn't come. We have strengthened our bonds with our roommates, created friends, family for us to love, and then we were made to kill our loved ones. It was our way of unleashing our anger. We were forced to overcome our grief. This was how true warriors were created. Something shattered the moment I realized I've killed Seldas. The chant was deafening, lauding me in the arena, howling at the heavens. The day I had killed the one I loved, I advanced to level 2. I was a step closer to becoming a true warrior. Tangled thread. How's Tion looking? Even with Tanya and Ace at her side, she isn't faring well. She took quite a beating, especially her heart. It's starting to look like we might need to get Tion and her sister back to the city sooner rather than later. You and I will talk to her first. We should focus on the Violas. Alrighty then, let's go over everything we know first. The old seal was tight as ever. I think it's safe to say the second dungeon entrance we are looking for isn't in the lake. Which would mean however our flower fiends got there, they used the route on the surface. I guess they are in the sewers and someone's carting them to the lake. Look for someone's fishy boxes or cages or something. And then we'll find the mastermind behind the whole thing. remnants of the evilest, and perhaps the one possible connection to the creatures could well be somewhere within this very port. Given how calm things have been on the waterfront lately, everyone's more concerned about pirates than they are about any sort of monster. What about the folks at the guild? I was only able to speak with the brain stranger, a human man named Rubot. Admittedly, I have my suspicions. Something unnatural about the whole conversation, the way he brought up Cali Familia, drawing my attention away from the violas. What about Alicia and her crew trip to the Gov? They learn anything? They were thrown out on suspicion of guild's involvement. The conversation itself was entirely one-sided. And what of you? Were you able to acquire any new information? You don't think no could be guilty, do you? It was just a thought. I find that difficult to believe, even absurd. The lengths he went to in order to help others like me when we first arrived on our journeys to Aurora were extraordinary. Still no, he was never really very good at it, at least from my perspective. He's hiding something from me, I know it. And that something is, that I don't know, but he's certainly got a guilty conscience. This whole thing may be bigger than all of us, or maybe more entangled. We bought at the guild, both at the manor, and the patron deity of Node Familia himself. What are we gonna do about Cali Familia? As much as I worry about Tion and her sister, they are not high on my radar. Can't help but feel like there's some sort of thread connecting them. It's tiny, but one you can't see no matter how hard you squint. Guzzling them down tonight, I see. This and that, lots of think about when my cute little kids are involved. If you have any alb water, I'll take that. Anything weird, just so rightly. There was something amazing. Amazon's been seeing them everywhere. Amazon's not Cali Familia. The very same from the one lady God's Familia. After all, this town's the gateway to Aurora, so we get all sorts of folks coming through. I'm bored. Where are they? There they come. Perfect. Finally, we have been waiting for you. Oh, so this is before Ishtar? Is that her name? The goddess's name? What was her name again? Well, this is before she dies, at least. Ishtar, not Ishtar. Ishtar. Goddess of beauty. Faden and this may be a little off base this late in the game, but I just want to confirm you're Ishtar, correct? You're a bit of an odd duck, you know that, sending a request to a far-off country like ours, which is why I explained my reasoning in detail in many letters we exchanged. I will bring down the woman for you. I had no idea what to expect when that first secret message of yours came. It was more than a year ago. All things concerned, it didn't take much to catch your interest. It's a great opportunity to battle with the famed Freya Familia. Infutable, powerful Freya Familia, the strongest in the city, known for its capable factions, is a great chance. I'll only let you know my initial plan for now. Wouldn't want you to and your girls to run wild or anything. What, you don't trust us? I'd watch my tongue if I were you, little Neanderthals. I sense violence won the battle. Fine with me. Stop at goals, it's a waste of time. By the way, Samara, give me the map of Awario. Our tier 2 is the Pleasure Quarter in the southeast. Fairy Familiars, on the other hand, is located in the shopping district. To put things in perspective, Milan is located southwest to Awario. My family will begin the attack in Wildfire, and whole followers have their attention on us. You and your warriors sneak in from behind. Surely they've got guards, yeah? There's a certain company I've got wrapped around my finger. Abella, simply come in by freight, and you should be able to pass by. If you would like, I can even open the gate for you myself. The power of charm, huh? I guess there won't be any problem then. Once we have finished preparing, we'll invade Freya's territory. You're a filthy, violent thing. Would you like to take a look at yourself through the mirror, goddess of beauty? Say what you will, but I will do anything to bring that woman's world crashing down around her. Anyway, there's so much I can tell you now. Even barbarians like you should be able to follow such simple instructions. After all, this is our first time meeting face to face for the day we're looking at. Preparations are taking longer than planned. However, feel free to use this in as you like until the day arrives. We do, Callie. That kid especially gotta see what he's really made of. That bozo is just one of many. Freya's entourage don't act out of tone. My family is equally as large as yours. I left most of them back in the city. Just wondering if you girls here would be able to only ones track and take. There's no need to worry. I have something special up my sleeve. I'm basically serving you a victory platter. Feel free to have, while I'm not sure how I feel about this trump card of yours, I guess I'll have to do. He's one shot. Exactly that being the case, I'd like if we finish the whole business. I'd be glad to pay you as much as you would like. Simply name your price. And I want it before this all goes down to. Currently here in this port, don't get me wrong, it's not got nothing to do with us. Just a coincidence is all. Main eating flour, yes, those, and don't tell me. I was hoping to go up against them. I can't have you bloodied and bruised before the fight. Sorry I wasn't being clear by them. I didn't mean the whole familiar, but two certain sisters. Flank. You see, Loki's got her hand on a few of my kids. They were both flank. Two sisters who left, two sisters who stayed. Which ones turned out stronger, I wonder. I want to see that battle, that carnage. I want to witness for myself which choice was correct. But in order to make that happen, I need you folks to keep the rest of the familiar at bay. That's ridiculous, there's no way. Let them have their fun, Lady Ishtar. There's no chance of the guild of Frey and her lot raising any. I'll take care of that sword, princess. Having said that, if we find we have bitten off more we can chew, I'm pulling out my goals. There's nothing that excites me like the spray of blood. Nothing lights a fire in my gut. The only truth that my children know is that fighting and bloodshed. I'm proud to be first in line and see it.